Now, for those of you that are brand new, you don't know what that means yet. You'll learn about it later. Executive is the highest position in our company, right? As far as a rank, okay? Now, there's star ratings that go beyond that, that's fine, but the executive is a very, very important position. And when you're an executive, it means that you can actually enjoy all the benefits of the compensation plan. Before you're an executive, you can make an extraordinary living and an extraordinary income, but you won't get paid everything you can. Executive means that you've reached a certain level. Now, to have created 9 executives in 14 months is unprecedented and remarkable. So let's first of all give you a round of applause for that. And you're going to see where I'm going to go with this. It's very important where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to keep you on stage for a while if I can. Talk to us briefly though, how have you done that? And talk about what's been your highest income today in a month, you know?
I think about $48,000.
So $48,000, 14 months, $48,000 in a month, right? Which is, how many agree? That's pretty extraordinary, right? Now, how have you created the executives? Because that's pretty what people want to know. How have you established the leadership? What have you done?
Well, it was very important to me. I have amazing mentors, Kelly and Tyler Dickerhoof, and a lot of the other leaders in Isagenix. Actually.
Which are, by the way, they're part of the START group, which means that they're between under the age of 35. How old are you, Kelly?
I'm 31.
31.
Yes.
All right, and Kelly is?
33.
33.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So I was actually introduced to Isagenix 4 years ago. She came to me and said, Laura, you need to do this cleanse with me. And I said, no, thank you. And I watched her for 3 years. And Zach and I were actually talking about this the other day at an event, and I realized when I started, I had that deep, deep burning desire because I had watched for so long. So when I made that switch and that decision, I was one of those people that wanted to run. And like David said, not everybody is going to be that way, and that is so okay. But I also had a really big why. My husband is an active duty Marine. He was deployed for a lot of the time I was doing this, so for me it was so much bigger, and I think that that's what I want to encourage you guys, is to really dig deep and find something that really emotionally connects you to this journey, that it's not just to make a lot of money, it's not just to get up here or get ranks or titles, but it's to do something that really is going to change lives and find a bigger purpose. So my purpose quickly became to help other Marine wives, and I have a few military wives in the audience with me. My dad is here now, and my little sister and my sister-in-law. So it's become a family journey as well. And
if you're in Laura's team, stand up. There you go, that helps. So, Laura, I just want to, if I can, if you can indulge me, can you stay here for a second?
Sure.
Okay, I want to invite somebody else up because I want you to hear another story, because it's easy for you to get confused. Because in our company, we're guilty of this, so we like to showcase these rapid growth, and it's amazing. It shows us all what's possible. Every time someone comes along and does something, it's like the 4-minute mile with Roger Bannister. When that happens, people say, well, if you can create 9 executives in 14 months, well, so can I, right? So suddenly there's a shift in thinking of what's possible, right? And so I'd like to invite someone. I asked her if I could have permission to do this. So don't think I'm dumb. I'm just asking her to come up here, right? So Journey, would you like to come up? Let's hear it for Journey Hancock, please. All right, Journey, can you just quickly share who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been in Isagenix?
Yes, my name is Journey Henkart. I'm from San Francisco, currently living in Calgary and everywhere else in the world. I've been part of Isagenix for 13 years.
I know. You're thinking, what were you, like 4? Tell them how old you are, because...
68.
Yeah.
No. I just say that because Isagenix works. But no, I am 33 and I got carded last night. There were some people that were witnesses.
Okay. So talk about your journey and the speed you chose to go at and what's happened to you.
Yeah, well, I decided to play with it as a hobby. And I was introduced by my family, and I was really excited. I was in college and I loved the hangover recipes. I don't know if that's implied, but so I loved the nutrition. I loved
It gave her an excuse to drink more. That's what I was. We should try another one.
That's not in the books, but it works. So I loved how I felt, and so I would share with people sometimes when they asked me. And I was able to create a residual income that paid the bills and allowed me to travel and
Well,
live
talk
up
about
to
how
my
much that
name.
was, because it wasn't a lot, but it.
No, I mean it would range. A couple $100s a week is what it started with, and then it was maybe $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month. And that allowed me to have choice in my life. So I got to pick up work when things that I wanted to do, like working at a medical beauty spa, or cool things that I got to explore myself and my creativity and what called me. And then the really cool thing is I got to check something off my bucket list, which was to go backpacking with a one-way ticket starting in India, with no plan of when I was going to come back. And I got to live in Cambodia and study with monks and live in Bali and volunteer in orphanages. And I had that freedom, and it's not very much, it doesn't cost very much to live there. So
the $1,000 or $2,000 a month was allowing you to live the dream you wanted.
the dream that I wanted, live up to my name, and experience other cultures. And then, and I think it was about that much. But then when I was living in Bali, I got a call that my dad had actually died in a plane crash. And obviously I had to fly back and spent that year with my family, healing and mourning and taking care of each other and the mess that it created, because he didn't have life insurance. And the money that we had coming in from Isagenix, my mom is full-time as well, and she was able to keep her home, whereas she probably would have had to sell it or get a job at Starbucks. We were able to cry together, heal together because of Isagenix. And that, above anything else, that having that backup plan when we didn't know that's what we were going to need, was huge for our family.
So 13 years in.
And then, it was about 11 and a half years in. Then coming out of that, I realized I needed to do something for me. What am I going to do? Getting my life back. And I realized I was still getting paid every week for my Isagenix. And I was like, what industry can you take 2 years off and still get paid every week? I don't care if it's $5 or $500, I was getting paid. And that's when I realized this is so much more than great nutrition, that this is a way to help more people. And I made the decision, but here's what happened. That decision got me back in action, but it wasn't until, that was February, and then in April, a year ago, is when my big aha moment happened. And that was UIA in Edmonton, a year ago, April. When you guys, I thought I was a 10 out of 10 in belief in everything. I was raising my hand, 10, 10, 10. My boyfriend looks at me for network marketing. He's like, you're not telling the truth. And I was like, what do you mean? And I thought I was, because I believe in everything Isagenix stands for, but I didn't realize I was not. I was probably a 2 or a 3 because I didn't get network marketing. And that was what was holding me back. So when my friends would tell me, I would still kind of shy away from the money. So that was the massive decision. And since that, in this last year, I'm now a 3-star. Well, it's between $60,000 and $100,000 a year. I'm making more money than I ever made when I played around in corporate and other things. And I get to travel. If anyone follows me on Facebook, I can't even keep track of where I am.
So, but here's the big question. You said something to me when we talked about this, and again, I'm going to bring you together now. Just come and stand together. I feel like I'm standing between us. All right? Our culture is really, really important, but you talked about how often you judged yourself in comparison to people who chose to move fast. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? And then I want Laura to just jump in as well. So.
Absolutely. Well, I look at beautiful people like Laura, and I think, how does she do it? She's in action. It's taken me 13 years to get to this place. And so what I've gotten into constant practice with, and thanks to coaching with David as well, is remembering, first of all, the lives that I am changing. I helped a single mom this year make $1,500 a month, now $2,000 a month. And lives like that, if I quit, if I was in poor me and was like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm gonna stay in my room, then I wouldn't have helped her life. I wouldn't have helped the other lives. So it's remembering that it's not about me, and that's helped me to continue sharing the message. And also realizing my life is pretty cool. I am paying my bills. I am able to say yes to a lot of cool things. And so reminding myself that it doesn't matter how much I'm making. I am living a great life. I am grateful, and I get to make the decision. If I want a promotion, it's up to me. And so I get to learn from people like Laura and absorb and keep on growing.
So give us here for good. I've never done this piece on stage before like this, and I just realized this morning when I heard about what's going on for you, and you know how important this is. Laura, talk about what's happening now with your income. You're soon about to reach a certain level, which means you would have, I don't like this word by the way, but you would have completed one center. I don't like the word maxed out because it sounds like you're at the end of something, and it's really just the beginning. Talk about how much money is that when you know? Who could help her?
Tracy.
$13,500 a week. Okay. That's about just over $700,000 a year. And so Laura's chosen to do that. I would say the word for me, chosen. Laura chose to do that quickly because she has a very, very, very big mission. Journey took about 11 and a half years to start to believe in network marketing. You don't have to take that long. This program didn't exist when Journey started. She didn't ever question her belief. And a lot of people in your teams right now don't know what they believe because we don't ask them. And one of the things that happen in the room, you'll see why so many leaders keep coming back, and they're not sitting at the back behind a red curtain, or a red sash. They're actually in here working and relearning and learning and learning and learning. They're constantly learning and being a student in the room. So some of you, you've already heard what I'm going to teach you. And you say, well, I know that. And that is one of the most dangerous 3 words in the human language. I know that. All right? So today and tomorrow, it's not what you know. It's what everyone in your team lives. It's how deeply in your team, how you can create leadership in your team so everyone can do what you can do. Say this with me, duplication. Say again, duplication. Right? So this isn't a simple, you'll see people in the room, you met them last night, $168,000 a month in the room learning, practicing, studying. All right, this is a journey, and I want you to get, so if you're in the room and you say, well, I already know this, I already know the comp, any of those, stop yourself and say, I'm going to go back, I'm going to study harder, I'm going to work harder, I'll help more people. Is that good? But Laura, just finish up, just talk a little bit about what's next for you. Here you are, you've done so much so quickly. What's going on?
Well, I'm trying to get my husband to executive. Well, I am going to get my husband to executive.
That'll be 10.
I am, yes. And I think the most exciting thing has been able to watch so many of my best friends and people that I love reach that same place. And that's when it becomes about other people and not about you and your ranks is really when it gets fun and truly where all the joy in this process happens. So when you can link arms with some people, I have some girls that have been here a month and I'm so excited they're in my room and I'm like, you don't even know what's coming. And I'm so excited for them. But that's when the joy happens. So it's really, I think like Journey said, she could have looked up and seen all these other people that have been doing all this stuff. And a lot of leaders have pumped this belief into me, but really what matters is looking down and seeing how you can help the people that you're bringing in. And that, in the end, is what is most important. So,
awesome. Let's
getting people to events is key. We have 60 people here today.
This is important. Finish up what you just said.
So I set goals are really important to me. They've been from the beginning, and I set goals for each event. And we have 60 people here today. This is my 3rd University in Action, but I wanted to get as many people as we can. And our goal is 200 for celebration. So setting goals for events and getting people to events every event has been life-changing for me. And I literally would do everything in my power to get people to events.
There's a stat that they study this. If you ask the sales team, we have them here, right? If you have every person that you have in your team at a major event, right, is $1,000 a year extra in your income. That's how it works out. So, and what people do, so often, how many of you wish you had people at this event? Raise up your hand. So imagine what's stopping them from being here. The only thing is they don't know the value of this, which means that we have to do a better job in saying, look, and going to their home or phoning them and saying, or putting them on a call with a leader and saying, look, this is why you need to invest in this event. And how many agree? $169 to be at this event is pretty remarkable. Raise it down. Answer this question, do you think it covers all the costs? Oh, yeah. Of course not. Not even close, right? Not even close. Look at the team that's here, right? Okay, so let's hear it for these two amazing women.